Chapter 979, Tianya, Feng Wuhui 2. It's great that you are here. Go and release your venom on Chen Qingyang. However, don't kill her. You just need to delay the healing of the wound on her back. My venom can't do that. Moreover, you have so many spirit herbs, I am sure you already have some that could work out the way you want. Dumbfounded, the azure snake thought to itself. It was too afraid to say it out loud for fear that Feng Ruqing would make snake soup out of it in a fit of anger. The venom of a mottled snake that I know of is capable of doing this. Let me go get it now. The azure snake rushed out of the backyard. If only the azure snake knew that it would bump into this annoying couple, it would definitely continue wandering around out there and not come back just yet. Finally, it has left. Feng Ruqing heaved a sigh. The azure snake had always been nowhere in sight. However, it would show up whenever Feng Ruqing made a pass at Nanxian. It was so irritating. Young master. Just as Feng Ruqing wanted to carry on with what she was doing, a servant rushed in through the door and said respectfully, "Young lady from the Zhuge family wants to see you." It seems that Mu Ling has not heed the things that I said. Qing'er, don't worry. I will handle these people. Nanxian was still calm and indifferent. No. Young lady from the Zhuge family wants to see young lady Feng, not young master. The servant lowered her head. Nanxian frowned. Just as he glanced at Feng Ruqing, he could see a glimmer of light flickered in her eyes. The Zhuge family? Is that the prestigious family in Tianshan Manor? Is the young lady pretty? Feng Ruqing quickly hid the light in her eyes and asked solemnly. Young lady Feng, a young lady from the Zhuge family, was here during the old master's birthday feast. She looks stunning. All right, that's great. Feng Ruqing broke into a smile. She raised her head only to see Nanxian staring at her. Her smile faded. Qing'er, are they as stunning as me? With a faint smile on his face, Nanxian's slender fingers pinched gently at Feng Ruqing's chin. His eyes were still calm. Simply no one knew what Nanxian was thinking currently. Young master, the young ladies of the Ouyang family, Zheng family, and Yang family want to see young lady Feng. Another servant rushed into the backyard. Nanxian could still keep his composure just now. However, after hearing this, his face took on a ghastly expression. Throw them out of the Mu family. No lady is allowed to see Qing'er in the future. Nanxian, me for extra chapters. Qing'er, all the ladies in Tianshan Manor are evil. Nanxian paused for a while. I thought you have not returned for years. How do you know this? Xiaoqing says so. Dazed, Feng Ruqing blinked. The azure snake was truly powerful. There was nothing in this realm that it was not aware of. However, Feng Ruqing had never doubted Nanxian's words. Although it was a pity that she could not meet these beautiful ladies, she simply could not do anything. All right, I trust you. In the backyard. What did you just say? All the ladies from the prestigious families of Tianshan Manor are here to see Feng Ruqing. On top of that, some of them are the concubines that father had arranged for Nanxian before this. Thrilled, Mu Huan got up. A vicious light sparkled in her eyes. Apparently, even a fool could tell why these ladies looked for Feng Ruqing. Feng Ruqing had seduced Nanxian and made a great commotion. Let's go. The show is about to start. Mu Huan gritted her teeth tightly. Even since Feng Ruqing had stepped into the Mu family had sunken into a mess. Now that Feng Ruqing was having a hard time. Naturally, Mu Huan must watch the whole incident unfold. Chapter 980, Tianya, Feng Wuhui 3. Thinking of this, Mu Huan quickly rushed over with an excited smile on her face. After leaving the backyard, Feng Ruqing walked toward the old master's chamber as she wanted to pay the old master a visit. Before she reached the old master's chamber, some bustling could be heard not far away. We just want to see young lady Feng. Could you please inform her again? We will not leave if we fail to see her today. The lady's lovely crisp voice was so pleasant to the ears, just like the sound of the bells. Feng Ruqing did not pause as she continued walking toward the old master's chamber with her arms holding onto Nanxian's. At this time, a sharp piercing scream sounded. Feng Ruqing turned her head only to see a pink silhouette turn into a strong gust of wind, rushing toward Feng Ruqing and falling right into her embrace. I didn't mean to do this. Do you trust me? Dumbfounded, Feng Ruqing looked sideways at Nanxian. Calm and composed, Nanxian stared sharply at the lady in Feng Ruqing's embrace. The lady was too afraid of Nanxian. She hurriedly stumbled away from Feng Ruqing's body. Young master wants us to throw these ladies out of the Mu family. I have accidentally thrown her in the wrong direction. The secret guard of the Mu family hurriedly rushed over and said, embarrassed. Beads of cold sweats could be seen covering his forehead. Perhaps, this secret guard could not even convince himself of the things that he has just said. Hearing this, Feng Ruqing merely sneered. In fact, this secret guard had done it on purpose. All the secret guards in the Mu family worked for Mu Ling. Why would these ladies want to see Feng Ruqing? Apparently, they were here to settle the account with Feng Ruqing as she had taken Nanxian's heart away. However, Nanxian did not allow these ladies to get into the Mu family. Hence, the secret guard could not help but do this so these ladies could see Feng Ruqing and Nanxian. Me for extra chapters. When all the ladies standing not far away saw Feng Ruqing and Nanxian, their eyes glowed intensely and they rushed toward both of them. Beaming with pride, the secret guard thought that he was actually helping Mu Ling and Chen Qingyang. Hence, Mu Ling would put him in a better position in his work. He could even see a bright future waving its hands at him. Get lost. A fat busty lady pushed the secret guard away. The secret guard was caught off-guarded, lost his balance and nearly fell to the ground. Young Lady Feng, I have finally met you. I heard that you have helped Gue lose weight. Could you help me too? When I slim down, I could be your servant to repay you. A flabby lady held onto Feng Ruqing's hand, her eyes were flooded with tears. Young Lady Feng, I am Zhuge Jiao from the Zhuge family. I have met you before at the birthday feast. I could never forget you since. Your heroic bearing is unparalleled in this realm. All the men are no match for you. Later on, I have finally gotten my head around this. Men are no match for ladies. Young Lady Feng, I want to be your concubine. What is so good about men? They are not faithful. Mu Ling was so in love with Nan Suyi before, but he too has taken a concubine. Why don't we let go of all these men and spend our lives together? Things have gone terribly wrong. The secret guard was dumbfounded. Moreover, Nanxian's eyes were filled with viciousness when he looked at the secret guard. The secret guard could not help quivering in fear. Young lady, the servant who stood behind Mu Huan said anxiously. Mu Huan's face darkened a few shades. Her hands balled into fists as she breathed shallowly. Chapter 981, Tianya, Feng Wuhui 4. Originally, Mu Huan thought that these ladies were here to settle the score with Feng Ruqing. Hence, she had rushed over, hoping to see it with her own eyes. It turned out that things had gone completely different from what she was expecting. Let's leave. Mu Huan's cold gaze swept over Feng Ruqing before she turned to leave indignantly. Chinga. Nanxian put his arm tightly around Feng Ruqing's waist with a tense face as if showing these ladies who Feng Ruqing actually belonged to. The ladies stared piercingly at Nanxian's arm. How they wished they could shake off his hand and replaced it with their own hands. They had never seen a lady like Feng Ruqing. Although she was a lady, the way she defended Suyi was far more reliable than men. When Feng Ruqing confronted Mu Ling and Chen Qingyang, she was so formidable and domineering that one could not help falling in love with her and even wanted to marry her. Feng Ruqing patted the back of Nanxian's hand gently to comfort him. Then, she turned to look at the ladies with a smile on her face. It's too late. Nanxian is my only. I will only love him for the rest of my life. Hearing this, Nanxian's tense face softened. However, he was still staring at the ladies with a bone-chilling gaze. However, Feng Ruqing stroked Zhuge Jiao's face. If you want to lose weight or need some beauty treatments, you could go to Paramount. Paramount would continuously launch some spirit herbal dishes later. Hearing this, Zhuge Jia was overjoyed. Zhuge Jia was quite good-looking among these ladies. However, simply no one would reject any chance that could make her more beautiful. Now that Feng Ruqing had said this, these ladies knew what they should do later. Young Lady Feng, thank you. If you dump young Master Nanxian one day, you may come to us anytime you want. We are always there for you. The aura emanated out of Nanxian was growing even colder and had caused the surrounding temperature to drop. He felt that he not only need to guard against men but also ladies. Take everyone out of here. No lady is allowed to get into the Mu family in the future. At your command, young master. The secret guard stood up fearfully. Just as he wanted to do as Nanxian commanded, Nanxian stared at him coldly. Me for extra chapters. After that, go to the torture chamber and take the punishment you deserve, break your leg. Naturally, Nanxian knew that this secret guard had done that purposely. Since he had made a mistake, he must be punished severely. After Feng Ruqing bid the ladies goodbye, she walked straight to the old master's chamber. From afar, Feng Ruqing could see the old master sitting in a chair as he basked in the sun. The old master too saw Feng Ruqing. He broke into laughter as he got up. My dear grandson and granddaughter-in-law, come sit here. But I only have one chair. Grandson, you take a seat. Granddaughter-in-law, you sit on his thigh. Feng Ruqing was dumbfounded. Cough. Cough. The old butler coughed as he smiled, feeling embarrassed. Young Lady Feng, the old master is getting much better now. At least, he can recognize everyone in the Mu family. He no longer thinks that the second manor master is still a 10-year-old kid. Oh, that's great. It will take more time for him to regain his strength. In the meantime, you all must simmer spirit herbal dish for him in the way I have told you and add a drop of spirit water into each spirit herbal dish so he can regain his strength faster. Young Lady Feng, don't worry. I have made proper arrangements. Did the manor master disturb the manor lady lately? The old butler smiled. Suyi is not the lady of the Mu family. Don't address her as manor lady. Call her Lady Suyi instead. Feng Ruqing raised her brow. Chapter 982, Tianya, Feng Wuhui Vas. Soon as Feng Ruqing completed her sentence, something crossed her mind. Oh no, you all have always been calling Chen Qingyang Lady Qingyang. Hence, you must not call Suyi the same way you have called Chen Qingyang. Butler, from now onward, everyone in the Mu family must call Chen Qingyang Aunt Qingyang. She is just a concubine. Naturally, you all should not call her Lady Qingyang, Feng Ruqing said after pausing for a while. All right, young Lady Feng, the old butler said with smiling eyes. It was true that Chen Qingyang was just a concubine and should not be called Lady Qingyang. However, Mu Ling cared for Chen Qingyang so much that simply no one could do anything to her. Now that Suyi and Nanxian had returned to the Mu family together with Feng Ruqing, there was finally someone who was capable of handling Chen Qingyang. Young Lady Feng, second manor master's illness, he is fine. The poison he got is fetal poison. It can hardly be removed with common treatments. I will give you another prescription of spirit herbal dish that is particularly useful in curing fetal poison. He will recover after taking it continuously for 1 month. The old butler was very excited after hearing this. If Mu Qingyin recovered, he could get married, bear children, and raise a family. The old master would be immensely relieved. Young Lady Feng. Thank you. There is no need to thank me. Everything that I do it for Suyi and Nanxian. Otherwise, the Mu family, Feng Ruqing's indifferent gaze swept past the surroundings. Is the place that I would never step into. The old butler heaved a soft sigh. Mu Ling had done so many things wrong. He had even tasked some people to harm Feng Ruqing. It was natural that Feng Ruqing disliked the Mu family. Feng Ruqing did all these only because of Suyi and Nanxian. Young Lady Feng, the old lady of the Luo family wants to see you. At this time, a servant rushed up to Feng Ruqing. Currently, Nanxian had kept his guard up against any female wanted to see Feng Ruqing, even for an old of 70 or 80. I will go with you. However, Nanxian respected Feng Ruqing. Hence, he did not stop her from seeing anyone. The only condition was Nanxian must be by her side. Feng Ruqing nodded slightly and walked toward the main hall after bidding the old master goodbye. Under the morning sunlight, the old lady of the Luo family was waiting anxiously for Feng Ruqing with a crutch in her hand. Luo Li too was standing quietly next to the old lady. Seeing Nan Xian and Feng Ruqing coming her way, her eyes lit up. She broke into a bright smile and her eyes curved into a crescent moon. She looked extremely adorable. Xiao Qing. Luo Li had not been meeting Feng Ruqing for a few days. She felt as if Feng Ruqing looked more stunning than she was. She had an indescribable charm that was capable of taking one's heart away. Me for extra chapters. Fortunately, Luo Li already had little fox in her heart. Otherwise, she would be crazy for Feng Ruqing just like the rest of the ladies. Young Lady Feng, I am here as I have something to tell you. The old lady's eyes lit up as she smiled. The lines and wrinkles on the face were capable of killing mosquitoes. Although the old lady did not know what kind of changes she would bring to Feng Ruqing's life after she told Feng Ruqing, she knew Feng Ruqing had the right to know this, even if Feng Ruqing might do something that could put herself into danger. Old Lady Luo, if you have something to tell me, please say it. Feng Ruqing walked up to the old lady and held onto her arms with a smile on her face. Well, can we go somewhere quiet to talk? The old lady asked hesitantly. Eyes and ears were everywhere in the Mu family. The things that the old lady wanted to say were highly confidential. Qing'er, leave it to me. If you have something important to discuss, I will make sure that no one can hear your conversation. Nan Xian reached out and stroked Feng Ruqing's head. Chapter 983, Tianya, Feng Wuhui 6. In fact, as soon as Nan Xian was here together with Feng Ruqing, his eyes were fixed upon the old lady. It was true that this old lady had something important to tell Feng Ruqing. She looked so anxious and could hardly hide it. All right. Feng Ruqing smiled. Her smile was dazzling like a bright ray of sunlight. She looked exquisitely gorgeous. As soon as Nan Xian left, Feng Ruqing turned to look at the old lady. What do you want to tell me? Young Lady Feng, do you remember the warrior that I told you about earlier? The old lady smiled wryly. Yes, I do. He was the one who has made the entire reclusive world sign a contract. You're right. His name is Tianya. Everyone in the reclusive world knows his name. However, he has another name. There are only 2 people in the entire reclusive world who know this. That's my late husband and I. His other name is Feng Wuhui. The old lady smiled faintly. Feng Wuhui. What did you just say? What is his other name? Feng Ruqing's quivering hand held gently onto the old lady's hand. Feng Wuhui, no regrets. Feng Wuhui, the retired emperor of Liu Yun Kingdom. At this moment, Feng Ruqing could feel the blood in her body flowing backward. Her eyes were locked onto the old lady. Feng Wuhui was Tianya who fought his way through the reclusive world. He was the one surrounded by countless people of the reclusive world and had made them sign the contract. He was the warrior who had broken into the reclusive world alone because someone in Liu Yun Kingdom was killed. Each word that Feng Ruqing said was filled with doubt, making the old lady feel more remorseful. Young lady, it's my fault. If not for the Luo family, your grandfather would not. Feng Ruqing closed her eyes slowly. Feng Ruqing was thrilled that Feng Wuhui was still alive. However, when she thought how Feng Wuhui had actually broken into the reclusive world alone and was besieged by countless forces, her heart broke. He was so weak and helpless. How could he have made it through all alone? How much has he sacrificed to make this contract work? Before Feng Ruqing knew that Tianya was Feng Wuhui, even without meeting this warrior, she had truly admired and respected him. It turned out that this warrior was actually Feng Ruqing's grandfather. Me for extra chapters. Those people from the reclusive world were truly shameful. They had even forced him into that place with no way out. I have heard what you said. Feng Ruqing opened her eyes. Her calm voice hid a storm brewing within her. Xiao Qing. Luo Li was a little worried. She held on to Feng Ruqing's hand. Hearing this, Feng Ruqing's face softened. She reached out to stroke Luo Li's head. I am fine. Don't worry about me. This is good news for me. At least I know that my grandfather is still alive. That's great. Luo Li heaved a sigh of relief and broke into a smile, exposing her cute little canine teeth. Xiao Qing, Your grandfather will surely return. Even if he could not return, Feng Ruqing would get into that place to get him out. Xiao Qing, it's time for us to leave. When you have time, do drop by the Luo family. Luo Li grinned. Sure. As soon as Feng Ruqing finished her words, Luo Li and the old lady left. Feng Ruqing watched both of them leave with her hand stroking her heart. Bloodline was something amazing indeed. Not only had Feng Ruqing possessed the princess body, but she had also associated herself with the princess kin. Chapter 984, Tianya, Feng Wuhui vi hence, Feng Ruqing could never turn her back on Feng Wuhui. At this moment, Nanxian walked up to Feng Ruqing and pulled her into his arms. His fingers brushed through her hair as he asked gently, Qing'er, are you done talking? Nanxian, can you do me a favor? Seeing Nanxian, Feng Ruqing's face softened. What is it? I want to know how many forces had besieged Tianya back then. I want a list of all the forces and people involved, both dead and alive. I want all of them. All right. Nanxian did not ask anything further. In fact, he would never ask Feng Ruqing anything as he knew that she would tell him if she wished. All he could do now was help her. I hope you will always count on me in the future. Let me help you instead of Zhu Ming. Nanxian smiled faintly. His embrace was warm, his eyes were gentle. You know about that. Feng Ruqing was stunned. Qing'er, do you truly think there is something that you could hide from me? I have tasked Xiao Qing to get with countless of snakes to check the person who had brought Qin Chen back to the Qin family back then. Nanxian smiled even more gently. For the first time, Feng Ruqing felt bad for the azure snake. It had actually been used to seduce the female snakes to get information. State Preceptor, do you think Chenna is my long-lost brother? Feng Ruqing looked up at Nanxian as she asked. I hope so. Nanxian stroked Feng Ruqing's head as he smiled. Why? Why? If Qin Chen was Feng Ruqing's brother, Nanxian would have one less love rival. By the way, did you already know since the beginning that I am here to look for my brother? Feng Ruqing narrowed her eyes. It seemed that Nanxian's tongue had slipped. Nanxian, you are trying to fool me, aren't you? You have kept me in the dark all this while. I must punish you today. Feng Ruqing gritted her teeth. How would you punish me? Nanxian's lips curved into a gentle smile. Well, it must be. Without any hesitation, Feng Ruqing lifted the edge of Nanxian's robe and pulled him close to her. She stood on tiptoe and kissed him hard for a long while and only let go of him when he could barely breathe. Her lips curved into an evil smile like a philanderer flirting with a lady. State Preceptor, this is not an ideal place as there are too many people here. Why don't we get a chamber and battle it out? Nanxian pulled Feng Ruqing into his arms, bringing her extremely close to him so that both of them could feel the warmth of each other's bodies. Sure, Nanxian said gently. Don't you want to know if we are fighting in bed or out of it? Me for extra chapters. I am fine with both. I want to tear off your robe. Be my guest. At this moment, Qin Fei came to the Mu family, wanting to look for Chen Qingyang. She had always been stepping into the manor without anyone announcing her arrival. Just as she stepped into the manor, she saw the terrible sight. Look at these two shitheads. You truly have no sense of shame to do this in broad daylight. You have actually slept together before getting married. How shameless. Liu Xia, the servant next to Qin Fei, said indignantly. Liu Xia. Qin Fei snarled, her face darkened a few shades. Have you forgotten the things that have happened back then? Ji Yusha called off the marriage with the Mu family because of your irresponsible remarks. If not for me, my father would have beaten you to death. Do you want to do it again? Chapter 985, Tianya, Feng Wuhui vi stunned. Liu Xia did not speak further. Her eyes were still blazing with fury. She simply did not understand why Nanxian did not only dislike Qin Fei, but had also fallen for such a slut, Feng Ruqing, when Qin Fei was such a great lady. Let's leave. Qin Fei glimpsed at the beautiful couple, rubbed her chest gently, and rushed out of the manor. Growing increasingly desolated, Qin Fei coughed. Her face grew paler each time she coughed. In the end, she coughed up a mouthful of blood. Young lady. Panicking, Liu Xia stared anxiously at Qin Feiya. Qin Feiya's quivering hand was holding a scarf and the bloodstain on the scarf was frightening. Qin Feiya's health should have improved after having Qin Chen as a drug primer. Indeed, she recovered quite well some time ago. However, her health had worsened lately. Did it have anything to do with Nanxian? Qin Feiya smiled wryly. She bit her lower lip, looked back at the manor, and then quickly looked away. It seems that I have truly lost the chance. With my current health, I can no longer marry Nanxina. Moreover, Feng Ruqing would never allow Nanxian to marry Qin Feiya. Su Yi was so domineering and easily jealous. Naturally, the daughter-in-law that she chose would never be a generous lady. Hence, it was true that Qin Feiya could never marry Nanxian. Cough. Cough. Once again, Qin Feiya coughed and spat out a mouthful of blood into the scarf. She wiped the corner of her lips with the scarf and smiled pathetically. Young lady. Liu Xia's arms held onto Qin Feiya's body and looked at Qin Feiya, extremely worried. Bang! Qin Feiya fell headfirst to the ground after walking a few steps. Young lady. Someone please come over and help the young lady. Stunned, Liu Xia's face drained out of color. She pounced on Qin Feiya as she cried. As Qin Feiya had not left the compound of the Mu family, the servant's voice drifted into the ears of the loving couple. Hearing this, Nanxian's face darkened as if someone had ruined the great time he was having with Feng Ruqing. Me for extra chapters. Nanxian, let's go and take a look. Feng Ruqing raised her brow with a spurious smile. Before Nanxian and Feng Ruqing reached there, Mu Ling had already rushed over. Seeing Qin Feiya lying on the ground, he frowned, looking a little disgruntled. The people of the Qin family said that Qin Feiya has fully recovered. How true is that? Fortunately, Nanxian has yet to marry Qin Feiya. Otherwise, she might have died in the Mu family after marrying Nanxian and made Nanxian a scapegoat for killing her. Who would actually believe that Qin Feiya had died from illness? Words can kill. Simply no one cared about the truth. They were only interested in juicy gossips. What happened to young Lady Qin? Mu Ling's tightly knitted brows loosened. As it had happened in the Mu family, Mu Ling could never turn a blind eye on Qin Feiya. Otherwise, the people out there would think that the people of the Mu family had done something bad to Qin Feiya. It's all because of her. She has harmed the young lady. Liu Xia thought that Mu Ling would stand up for Qin Feiya. She quickly got up and pointed at Feng Ruqing. As Liu Xia did not attend the birthday feast with Qin Feiya, she did not know that Feng Ruqing had beaten Mu Ling up back then. She thought that Mu Ling was the only one helming the Mu family. Since Mu Ling liked Qin Feiya so much, he would definitely avenge her. Chapter 986, Tianya, Feng Wuhui 9. Mu Ling was startled when he heard Liu Xia's accusation. Did Feng Ruqing hit Qin Feiya because she had come to snatch Nanxian from her? Mu Ling's heart stopped beating for a moment. Feng Ruqing might have done it since she was so arrogant. I was busy with Nanxian. Do I still have time to entertain her? Feng Ruqing sneered. Liu Xia's eyes were red. She glared at Feng Ruqing angrily. You should have known that my lady is not in good health since you have met her several times. However, you are displaying affection with Nanxian in public. Didn't you do it to intentionally provoke my lady? Only then did Mu Ling understand what was happening. He slightly frowned and started to dislike the Qin family more and more. Initially, he had a good impression of Qin Feiya. She was gentle, quiet, and likable. Later, he learned that the Qin family might be the reason why the chief manor had decided to reject the marriage. He started to have doubts about the Qin family. He needed the chief manor more compared to the Qin family. His affection for Qin Feiya had also disappeared now seeing her fragile and weak body. The Qin family did promise him that Qin Feiya's body would recover soon. That was why he had agreed for Nanxian to marry Qin Feiya. If Qin Feiya's body was still not healthy, she might not be able to give birth to a child. He would never let her be Nanxian's concubine. On top of that, her servant had behaved badly and was not respectful toward them. The people of the Qin family had no manners and were uneducated. Mu Ling knew that this was not Feng Ruking's fault. She was just being intimate with Nanxian at the Mu family. Who knew that Qin Fei would appear and be provoked by them? Furthermore, although he could not stand seeing the Feng Ruqing and Nanxian embracing each other in public, he would at most only sneer at them in his heart. If he said it out loud, it would be unreasonable. Ahem, Feng Ruqing. Mu Ling cleared his throat, looking at Feng Ruqing sharply with a stern face. In the next second, he immediately sensed Nanxian's eyes that were calm but filled with murderous intent. The words he wanted to say were stuck in his throat. His voice became even softer. Young Lady Qin fainted at the Mu family. Why don't you take a look at her condition? I refuse to. Feng Ruqing, I heard that you have a good relationship with Qin Chen. Young Lady Qin is Qin Chen's sister. I still refuse to. Then what do you want? Please take a look at her condition. Mu Ling was a little annoyed, but he did not dare to show it. He secretly feared Nanxian, and the fear could not be erased. Me for extra chapters. Oh, I'll dissect her body when she dies. Mu Ling was speechless. Mu Ling had known about Feng Ruking's ruthlessness and viciousness, but he did not expect her to be that ruthless and vicious. Yes. The Qin family was irrational and mindless when it came to this matter, but Qin Fei had fainted at the Mu family. Could she not treat her for Nanxian's sake? Brother Ling, a weak voice made Mu Ling's heart tremble. He hurriedly looked up and saw Chen Qingyang walking toward him with the help of a servant. Chen Qingyang's face was pale and her forehead was covered in cold sweats. There seemed to be some strain in every step she took. Qingyang, why did you come out? Mu Ling frowned slightly. Just as he wanted to go and help Qingyang, he suddenly saw Suyi coming from the other side. Hence, he stopped himself from doing so. Chen Qingyang smiled weakly. I heard that young Lady Qin has fainted in the Mu family. So, I came to see it. Brother Ling, what happened to young Lady Qin? Quickly get her a physician to treat her. We can't send her back to the Qin family in this condition. All right. Mu Ling's expression relaxed. He turned around and ordered the guard behind him to carry out that task. Then he turned back. Chapter 987. Have you lost your conscience? He could only find someone else for help since Feng Ruqing was unwilling to help. No one was more a failure than him as a father. He could only go to look for other people. Nanxian had never listened to him. Even the woman whom Nanxian liked disregarded his orders. Qing'er. Suyi smiled and walked toward Feng Ruqing. She never once looked at Mu Ling at all. She simply ignored his existence. Mu Ling's eyes followed Suyi. His eyes, which were full of regret, also hurt Chen Qingyang's heart. Chen Qingyang panicked. Her body fell forward and she screamed. Ah, Qingyang. Mu Ling's face changed a little. He hurried forward and caught Chen Qingyang's body that was about to fall to the ground. Chen Qingyang seemed proud and there was the slightest smile on the corners of her mouth. However, her proud smile froze on her face when she noticed that Suyi did not look at them at all. She felt weak as if she had punched on cotton. She did not receive any reaction. What are you doing? Mu Ling was furious. He looked angrily at the servants. Qingyang has not recovered yet. Who allowed you to let her out? She almost fell just now. Didn't any of you see it? The servants were so scared that their faces were pale. They immediately kneeled on the ground and their entire bodies were shaking. Brother Ling, don't blame them. I was the one who wanted to come out. Chen Qingyang smiled and raised her eyes. Her eyes gradually turned to Qin Fei, who was lying on the ground. What happened to young Lady Qin? Isnt Maiden Feng highly skilled in medical treatments. She has even healed the old master and the second young master. What about letting Maiden Feng treat her? After all, they will become a family in the future. Feng Ruqing, what is the use of treating me harshly? Your husband will still marry a concubine. No man was truly loyal to only one woman in this world. Now Nanxian listened to what she said because he had not gotten her yet. Wait until Nanxian had married Feng Ruqing, Qin Fei could easily become Nanxian's woman using some tactics. All the pain that you have given me these days, I will pay them back to you 1,000-fold after you have lost Nanxian's protection. Chen Qingyang could feel a pair of eyes staring at her coldly as soon as she finished her words. Nanxian was cold and expressionless. Qing'er said to let her dig the dung. She can move now. What about letting her do it today? Chen Qingyan's face turned pale as she held onto Mu Ling's sleeves tightly. Mu Ling slightly frowned. Nanxian, your stepmother is not healthy enough to do such hard work. There was obviously no wind today. Me for extra chapters. However, Mu Ling felt a cold wind in the yard after he said that. Even the fallen leaves were caught in the air. Mu Ling's eyebrows twitched as if he was trying to say something. But he could not speak a word as Nanxian's cold eyes stared sharply at him. Just throw Qin Fei out. Then just beat this servant's legs and hands until they are broken and throw her out too. Liu Xia's eyes suddenly widened. She could not believe the cold look on Nanxian's face. Young Master Nanxian, you can't do this to my lady. My lady is infatuated with you. Liu Xia kneeled and hit her head onto the ground fiercely. Nanxian held Feng Ruking's hand and walked away calmly, leaving a cold figure in the light breeze. I won't allow anyone to frame her. Those who had framed her must repay her. A pair of hands and a pair of legs were what this girl should pay with for her words just now. Liu Xia's body collapsed to the ground. She felt despair. Chapter 988. Have you lost your conscience? She finally understood why the lady did not allow her to speak rashly just now. It turned out that Nanxian doted on this woman so much. That pampering should belong to her lady, but now it had been taken away by others. Qin Fei and Liu Xia were thrown out of the Mu family. They lay on the street with everyone watching. Liu Xia's hands and legs were all broken and she could not get up anymore. Fortunately, some people of the Qin family passed by and found Qin Fei and Liu Xia lying on the street. They took them back to the Qin family. Wen Yu screamed and rushed over to Qin Fei in tears when she saw Qin Fei being carried back. Fei, my dear Fei, how did you become like this? Who the hell did this to you? Who has injured you? I will kill her. Liu Xia was shivering on the ground. Her face was a little crunched up from the pain. Young lady was provoked and she fell sick at the Mu family. Those people of the Mu family threw both of us out. My lady, you have to avenge the young lady. Wen Yu's eyes were filled with horror. How dare those jerks from the Mu family treat my Fei like this? Anyone with a kind heart would never do such a thing. I must let the Mu family pay the price in the future. Fei fainted at the Mu family. The Mu family should have taken care of her. Instead, they threw her out. Their conscience had been eaten by dogs. You are useless, too. Wen Yu's cold eyes fell on Liu Xia. You can't even protect Fei. What's the use of you? You have always persuaded Fei to go out. Come and drag this stupid thing out. Beat her to death. Liu Xia panicked. She could not kneel. She could only drag her two soft legs and crawl toward Wen Yu. My lady, please let me go. I will never do it again next time. Please. Wen Yu lifted her leg and kicked Liu Xia hard. Fei was too kind. If she didn't protect you before, I would have killed you long ago. Rest assured. I will tell Fei that you have offended Feng Ruqing at the Mu family and was killed by her. Liu Xia's tears flowed. She gritted her teeth and hit her head on the floor fiercely. My lady, I was wrong this time. I will never take the young lady out again in the future. Her whole body was shaking and she was very afraid. However, Wen Yu did not change her mind no matter how Liu Xia begged her. Me for extra chapters. The two guards dragged Liu Xia out. Within the next few seconds, Liu Xia's heartbreaking cries could be heard. After a few hours, the cries disappeared and the whole courtyard returned to its previous calm and quiet. Wen Yu glanced at the guards and servants coldly. No one is allowed to let Fei know what has happened today. If Fei knows it, you will all end up like Liu Xia. Everyone was kneeling in a row. They were trembling. Yes, lady. Go and do your work. Wen Yu waved her hand and said impatiently. Everyone left. An old man in a linen robe appeared behind Wen Yu after a while. He put his fists together in a respectful greeting. Lady, what has Qin Chen been doing recently? For your information, young Master Qin Chen rarely goes out recently. He just reads books every day and is always in a daze. He has nothing else to do. Chapter 989, Framed I Well. Wen Yu slightly frowned. Feia's body should gradually recover after having a drug primer. Why did she still faint today? She hasn't passed out for many years. What's going on? My lady, I'm also not very sure about this. The drug primer was provided by young Master Qin Chen. There should be no mistake. Wen Yu frowned. That means that the dose of the drug primer was not enough. Tell Qin Chen to provide more drug primer. We must make Feia's condition better no matter what. She's my only daughter and also the hope of the Qin family. Yes, lady. The old man cupped his fist respectfully and retreated. No one saw that the bird that was resting on the tree flew in the sky after the old man left. Even if someone saw it, no one would have cared about a bird. Inside the back garden, Feng Ruqing stopped and turned her head slightly. She looked at the emerald green bird who was flapping its wings. She frowned. Qing Han, what is he talking about? Qing Han did not leave the medium and transmitted the message to Feng Ruqing through the voice of the soul. Mother, it said that the Qin family adopted uncle so that he could provide drug primer. Drug primer? Feng Ruqing was startled. What drug primer? I'm not sure, it doesn't know either. Qing Han shook her head. Feng Ruqing's face suddenly turned cold. No matter what drug primer the Qin family asked Qin Chen to provide, she had a bad feeling about it. I'm going to meet Qin Chen. She did not ask anything before. That was because she believed that Chenna would take care of himself well. Now, she must ask him about everything. Qin Feia opened her eyes tiredly inside her room. She rubbed her temples since she was having a headache and was in a daze. Suddenly, a happy voice spoke near her. Feia, are you awake? Yes. Qin Feia smiled weakly. Mother, am I not at the Mu family? Why am I back? Did the people of the Mu family send me back? Where is Liu Xia, me for extra chapters? Wen Yu's face stiffened. She eased her expression after a short while. Feia, I heard from Liu Xia just now that you were thrown out by the people of the Mu family. Qin Feia was stunned. She lowered her head and felt a sense of bitterness in her heart. She was thrown out. Feng Ruqing must have done it. Nonetheless, Nanxian did not stop her from doing so. What did this mean? She clearly understood it. And Liu Xia, when you closed her eyes. She opened them after a while. She was disrespectful toward Feng Ruqing at the Mu family. I taught her a lesson after she came back. She ran out after that and was assassinated by Feng Ruqing's people. I just found her body and buried her. Qin Feia clenched her fists and was having a hard time breathing. Mother, what did you just say? Did Feng Ruqing kill Liu Xia? Liu Xia was her maid and a member of the Qin family. Did Feng Ruqing have the right to hurt her people in the Qin family? Liu Xia is dead. Feia, I'll send another girl to take care of you, when you said softly. I also hope that you don't be too sad. Liu Xia, she was not suited to take care of you. Qin Feia's face was pale. She could not believe that the person who had always been with her was dead in a blink of an eye. Liu Xia was killed by her love rival. Mother, Qin Feia's face was covered with tears. How could someone be so cruel in this world? It's fine if she hates me and complains about me. Liu Xia does speak rudely very often, but she should not die. Damn it. Why did Feng Ruqing have to kill her? Why? Chapter 990, Framed 2. When you gently touched Qin Feia's hair. Feia, not everyone is as kind as you. You take your maid's life seriously. A person like Feng Ruqing will never care about others' lives. She only cares for herself. Qin Feia closed her eyes sadly. She did not understand. Why would Nanxian like such a cruel and selfish woman? Just because she was beautiful? If she could be as beautiful as Feng Ruqing, would Nanxian like her? Feia, let me ask you. Do you like young Master Nanxian? Wen Yu's voice was gentle and full of love. Qin Feia opened her eyes. Her eyes were full of grief. She thought of what happened earlier again. They were so harmonious that it felt like a needle was prickling at her heart. What's the use of me liking him? He does not like me after all. Feia, I will get Nanxian for you, Wen Yu said with a smile. I will surely get him for you as long as you don't give up. No woman can take Nanxian away from you. But, Feia, do you think a cruel woman like Fengruqing is eligible to marry Nanxian? Her existence would be disastrous to Nanxian. And you are Nanxian's savior. Your appearance will also save him. Qin Feia's body stiffened. She raised her eyes and looked at Wen Yu's loving face. She had initially wanted to give up after seeing the scene that hurt her today. She would still love Nanxian humbly even though she already had Mu Ling's approval. But Fengruqing just ignored the friendship between the Qin family and the Mu family and threw her out of jealousy. She had even killed Liu Xia cruelly just because of a sentence. Could such a person give Nanxian's happiness? Mother, I understand. Qin Feia looked pale, but her eyes were filled with determination. I will not give up on Nanxian. I will never let go of him. Her mother was right. Fengruqing's existence was a catastrophe to Nanxian. Her character was brutal and vicious. She was an arrogant person and got jealous easily. She would create chaos in her family in the future and would make many enemies for the Mu family. And she could not watch Nanxian wallow so deeply. She had to save him from this pit of fire. My good daughter me for extra chapters. Wen Yu embraced Qin Feia with a smile. A slight coldness flashed in her eyes when she lowered her eyes. Feia, don't blame me for lying to you. No matter what I have done, it was all for your sake. Your future must be full of life and hope. No one can hinder your happiness. Bang! Suddenly, a bang came from outside the door. Wen Yu suddenly let go of Qin Feia. She forced herself to calm down and appeased her frightened daughter who was in front of her. Feia, wait here. I will go see what is happening. Qin Li had shut himself from the outside world and had been cultivating after he had attended the old master's birthday feast. Now she must take charge and manage all the Qin family's affairs. In the courtyard, a figure fell from the sky as soon as Wen Yu arrived. Luckily, she was able to avoid it in time. Her eyes fell on the guard of the Qin family who had fallen in front of her. She lifted her head and stared at the girl who came in from the door coldly. The girl was holding another little girl and they came forward slowly. Fengruqing. Wen Yu raged. What does this mean? Fengruqing raised her eyebrows. Nothing. It's just that your people won't allow me to enter. I could only enter like this. Chapter 991, Framed 3-inch. Why are you here? Wen Yu gritted her teeth. Fengruqing smiled widely. I'm looking for Qin Chen. Maiden Feng. Wen Yu sneered. You already have Nanxian, but you still come and look for my son. Don't you think that you are being amorous? Don't you feel sorry for Nanxian? Fengruqing turned to look at Wen Yu. Somehow, the girl's eyes made Wen Yu shiver a little. She pursed her lips and her face showed a little anger. Where is Chenna? Maiden Feng. Wen Yu said sarcastically. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because Nanxian is protecting you. This is the Qin family. Don't be too pretentious. Crack. The vines shot out of the ground and Wen Yu was instantly up in the air. Little Qinghan let go of Fengruqing's hand and took 2 steps forward. You can't talk to my mother like this. I am very fierce and I will bite people. If you don't let us meet Uncle Qin Chen, I will bite you. Wen Yu was so scared that her face turned pale. Where did this little thing come from? Why was she so powerful? Ching. Fengruqing stopped when she heard a gentle voice came from behind. She saw a handsome face when she turned to look. The young man was like a ray of sunshine, warm and nice. His smile warmed her heart. Did you come to find me? Qin Chen walked slowly toward Fengruqing. His voice was soothing like a spring and gentle like the breeze. Yes, I came to look for you. Fengruqing said calmly with a bright smile. Would you like to go with me? All right. I'll go with you. He was willing to leave everything behind and follow her with just one sentence. When Yu was shocked. She panicked. Chenna, you can't go. You must not follow her. If Qin Chen left, how would Feiya survive? What about her drug primer? Qin Feiya also ran out of her room. Her body was still very weak, it was as if she would collapse at any moment. She heard the young man's gentle voice as soon as she reached the courtyard. Her whole body trembled. Me for extra chapters. Nanxian was taken away by this woman because she did not have enough charm. She had failed to appear in Nanxian's life before Feng Ruqing and Nanxian had fallen in love with her. But Qin Chen was from the Qin family. He was her beloved younger brother. The two of them were the closest people in this world. Why would her most beloved brother abandon her for another woman? Chenna. Qin Feiya's voice was sorrowful and heartbreaking. Her tears were flowing down and her pale face was filled with despair. Why? Why are you leaving? Am I not good to you? Why are you leaving me? Qin Chen turned his back on Qin Feiya and remained silent. Qin Feiya staggered and ran toward Qin Chen. Did you know that Feng Ruqing is an amorous woman? She has been married and has been playing around with Nanxian. She has even come to hook up with you now. We are your loved ones. How could you abandon the ones who have been with you for years just for a woman? She had never blamed Feng Ruqing for taking away Nanxian. Even though she was angry that Feng Ruqing did not consider Liu Xia's life worthy, she did not hate her as much as she did now. She already had Nanxian. Why did she come to hook up with Qin Chen? Did she know that her behavior would hurt Chenna sooner or later? Chapter 992. Proby. Moreover, she could not bear it anymore. Qin Chen, who was her younger brother, was abandoning the Qin family and leaving her for a woman without any hesitation. Ridiculous. Because she is the only person I care about in this world. Because she is the only person I care about in this world. Qin Feiya heard what the young man said. She stopped. Her body stiffened in the wind and her eyes were filled with sorrow. What about us? What about me, father, and mother? Do you think that you are right for abandoning us for her? Qin Chen finally turned his head. His eyes were cold and expressionless as if he was facing a stranger. You knew why the Qin family adopted me. I don't owe the Qin family anything. Qin Feiya clenched her fists. Chenna still had grudges toward them. He truly resented the Qin family for making him the drug primer for her. Chenna, I know you hate me, but everything I did was for your sake. Do you know how vicious this woman is? Qin Feiya's voice was heartbreaking and she was not as tender and elegant as before. She is selfish and she always cares about herself. She would kill someone just because of something that person said. She does not respect her parents and her elders. She has even embarrassed Mu Ling in public. Do you still want to follow a woman like this? Qin Feiya had never hated anyone in her life. Feng Ruqing was the first one. She was also experiencing the feeling of jealousy for the first time. Nanxian was taken away from her. Why was Feng Ruqing not letting go of Chenna? Why? Qin Chen was cold and calm. He flew in the air and arrived in front of Qin Feiya. He grabbed Qin Feiya's neck hard with his hand. Qin Feiya's face changed due to his powerful strength. Her face turned red and she was almost out of breath. She understood that Qin Chen wanted to kill her at this moment. He was going to kill her just because she had scolded Feng Ruqing a little. Her heart was torn into pieces. Her whole heart was torn and bleeding. She is better than anyone. Because she had never killed innocent people. Me for extra chapters. She had only killed those who should have been killed. The Qin family had killed a lot of people due to their selfishness. How dare they blame the others when they were the ones doing it? Although the world doesn't know what the Qin family has done, do you think I am stupid? Qin Li was acting like a good person in front of the whole world. Who would have guessed that he has snatched other people's treasures and killed a lot of people? Many people are doing bad things for him out there, but those people have never been to the Qin family. This was because he did not want the people of Tianshan Manor to know that he is still keeping in touch with those people. Qin Feiya was stunned. I didn't know, She did not know about these things. No one had ever told her about the evil side of the Qin family. Qing is the sunshine in my heart. She is also my salvation. Every place will be my home as long as she is there. The Qin family is not important to me. I can even ruin the Qin family for her. Qin Fei's face grew darker. She could not feel the hand that was holding her throat. She looked at Qin Chen sadly. Why are you doing this to the Qin family? Why? She had always thought that she was Qin Chen's closest and the most important relative. She just realized how ridiculous her thought was ever since Feng Ruqing had appeared. Chapter 993. Probai's little Qinghan loosened her vines when you fell down from the sky. It made her dizzy and spit blood. She got up quickly and glowered at Qin Chen. Her eyes were filled with fury. Don't you forget that it was your parents who wanted to kill you. If the Qin family hadn't saved your life, you wouldn't have had a chance to live. Qin Chen, you are so ungrateful, you don't even deserve to be called human. Feng Ruqing held Qin Chen's hand and walked up to the young man. She stared at Wen Yu with a grim smile. You keep saying that Chen's parents wanted to kill him and that it was the Qin family that has rescued him. You want him to feel deeply grateful for it. But I'm curious to know why his mother and father were eager to kill him. Wen Yu's heart started pounding. How should I know? She gritted her teeth. Even a vicious tiger will not eat its cub. I don't believe a parent would have the heart to kill their infant. Besides, you said that it was the Qin family that had saved Chenna. What evidence do you have? Who knows, maybe the Qin family has taken a child from someone else. Feng Ruqing's suspicion made Wen Yu panic, but she remained silent. She sneered coldly. On the contrary, Qin Fei's eyes widened with fear after hearing these words. Back then, Qin Fei was clueless about those things. Later she discovered the truth after hearing it from her parents. Since then, she had always stood up for Qin Chen because she knew the Qin family had wronged him. Perhaps she was actuated by her selfish motives. All this time, she had never come clean with Qin Chen and she wanted to use gratitude as an excuse to make him stay with the Qin family. How did Feng Ruqing find about these things? Read more chapter on Vipnovel. After pondering for a while, Qin Fei finally made up her mind. Feng Ruqing was probing it. Otherwise, she would never know it. Feng Ruqing caught the confusion in Qin Fei's eyes and her heart sank gradually. As expected, she was just guessing, but Qin Fei had fallen into the trap. Qin Chen was the child they have abducted. Suddenly, Feng Ruqing's heart was beating hard. If Qin Chen was abducted, was he her long-lost brother? There was some joy in Feng Ruqing's heart. With her bright smile, she held Qin Chen's hand tightly. Chenna, let's go. To her, nothing was more important than getting his brother back. Me for extra chapters. Okay. The young man loosened his hands. Qin Fei fell to the ground. Her body turned frail. She confoundedly coughed like she had herniated her lung. The unpleasant bright red blood filled the ground. No, Chenna, don't go. Qin Fei grabbed at the young man's clothes. She was choked with sobs. Please, don't go. You are my brother, please don't leave me. What will happen to me if you go? You were not like this before you met Feng Ruqing. The old Qin Chen was cold but not cruel. Now, he only cared for Feng Ruqing. The others were not important anymore. The young man stopped but did not show any mercy. He lifted his feet and kicked Qin Fei so that she flew far into the distance. She fell hard to the ground and spat out blood over and over. Fei, Wen Yu stared angrily. She then called the guards. Come quickly. Come. Go get all of them. Guards came from all directions and surrounded them. Feng Ruqing paused. She kept a poker face and said, Qing Han, these people are blocking us from leaving this place, all of them. Kill. Chapter 994. Probai Qin Chen was speechless. Qing, how could you teach a child to kill? Initially, he had also wanted to attack. After seeing little Qing Han with an excited face, he stopped and restrained himself. He forgot that anyone who got together with Ching Ching would never be an ordinary person. This little girl was truly a little demon. Mother, there are so many snacks. Too bad little monkey is not with us. What about I go back and bring it here so that it can braise, steam, and deep fry them? Little Ching Han smiled with excitement. Her expression was innocent and naive, and she looked as harmless as a dove. Ching Han, these humans are dirty. You will get diarrhea if you eat them. Feng Ruching helplessly touched her forehead with her hands. I will give you the spirit herbs once we get home. Do not eat just anything when you're out. Little Ching Han pouted and said, spirit herb is the main dish, humans are snacks. Mother, I want some snacks too. No. Okay. She was an obedient child. She would listen to whatever her mother said. Therefore, without warning, little Ching Han made numerous vines break from the ground. In a split second, the guards were all tied up. The guards were unable to fight back and slowly fell to the ground. Wen Yu was stunned and there was fear inside her heart. She gritted her teeth. Feng Ruching, my husband is still in closed-door cultivation until now. You have grabbed my son and caused trouble for the Qin family. After his cultivation ends, your time will come. Oh. Feng Ruching smiled. Then, I'll wait for him. Yuana, let's go. Okay. Qin Yuan looked at Feng Ruching. There was a smile in her bright eyes. Feng Ruching did not stay long. She took Qin Chen and left the Qin family. Seeing Qin Chen walking out from the main gate, Qin Fei did not know how she had gotten the strength to climb up from the ground and run after him. Chenna. Bang. The main gate was smashed hard. Me for extra chapters. Qin Fei stopped groaning. She was trembling with sorrow and crouching helplessly. She wrapped her arms tightly. Her beautiful eyes were now filled with grudge and anger. Mother, she has taken Chenna. She has taken Chenna away from us. Nanxian never knew of my existence, so I don't hate her for taking away him. But Chenna. He has been with me for almost 20 years. He is my family. Why did she simply take away my family member? I hate her. She has ruined everything. Without Chenna, I will not be able to recover and I can't marry Nanxian. I hate her. This kind of hate scraped the bones like an avenging spirit, only hatred was left in her eyes. So, Qin Fei stood up. She was no longer crying. Her body stopped trembling, but the hatred in her eyes was still intense. It could not be resolved or erased. I will take away everything that she has right now. Wen Yu's eyes were red. She reached out her hand and pulled Qin Fei into her arms. Fei, the last time you stayed in the chief manor made your father feel threatened. This time he intends to continue the cultivation. He is just one step away from making a breakthrough to the Holy Warrior tier. Once you reach Holy Warrior tier, nobody can ruin your happiness. Feng Ruching has obtained protection from the chief manor. So what? Jiyusha is also a Holy Warrior tier. The battle between those of Holy Warrior tier would definitely shake the world. Chapter 995. Probe IV. None of the Holy Warriors would fight for such a small enmity. Therefore, she did not believe that Jiyusha would fight just because of Feng Ruching. Even more impossible for Hai Rong. The person that Hai Rong admired was only Suyi, not Feng Ruching. Once Qin Fei became Nanxian's wife, Suyi would not care for Feng Ruching anymore. By then, what was there to be afraid of Hai Rong? Really? Qin Fei's eyes brightened. Will Qin Chen come back? Yes, we still need him as a drug primer. He will, and he must return to the Qin family. Wen Yu's hand gently brushed Qin Fei's hair. Her eyes were filled with tenderness. My Fei, you have suffered so much in your life. Happiness will come soon. All the people that you love will stay by your side. Qin Fei smiled. Yes, all the people that she loved would finally stay by her side, whether it was the man that she wanted to marry, or her most beloved little brother. Mother, Chenna is just misled by someone who makes him like this. When he comes back, I don't want anybody to blame him. Okay, Mother will do as you wish. For this time being, don't you go out. That woman Feng Ruching is so ruthless. She will likely do something to hurt you. Qin Fei did not say anything. Her eyes moved as she stared in the direction where Feng Ruqing had just left. For a moment, her eyes were filled with fury. Feng Ruqing, from now on, I will never be weak anymore, and I won't tolerate you anymore. Everything that you have taken will only stay for a while. Not for the rest of your life. Mother, I'm tired. I'll go get some rest first. Qin Fei looked weak. She needed help from a maid to help her up. But her pace was unusually firm. Step by step, she walked to the backyard. Warm and fine spring. Spring breeze caressed the face. The young woman on the street stopped walking. She turned her head a little and later completely turned to face Qin Chen, who was standing next to her. Her voice was deep. Chenna, I have something to ask you. Qin Chen stared blankly. Yes. What is a drug primer? The young woman's smile dimmed as she asked solemnly. Qin Yu's heart skipped a beat. He pursed his lips without saying a word. Uncle, little Qing Han grinned. I heard Brother Fu Chen say a word before. Leniency to those who have confessed and severity to those who refused. You better be honest with Mother. Otherwise, Mother will spank you. Qin Chen's face turned red. He glanced at Qing Han and turned back to Feng Ruqing. Me for extra chapters. Qing, I was not injured and I did not suffer, so, those things have passed. Qing, can you stop asking about it? He did not want Feng Ruqing to know that he was using blood as a drug primer, and he did not want to make her feel sad. Chenna, Feng Ruqing smiled helplessly. It's okay if you refuse to talk about it, I won't force you. No matter what your purpose of living with the Qin family was, I will never allow you to risk your life. From now on, you must stay next to me and you're not allowed to go anywhere. Qin Chen smiled brightly. Fine, I'll listen to you. In his lifetime, he could go against everyone's words. Except for hers. He should have stayed in the Qin family for a longer period because the task he had to do was not done yet. But one word from Feng Ruqing had made him follow her without any second thought. So many people in the Qin family targeted her. If he did not stand by her and leave with her, it would inevitably make her feel ashamed. So, he finally made his decision. His Qing immensely cared about her reputation. How could he embarrass her? Chapter 996. The old master has recovered the Mu family's clan hall. Everyone gathered there. Their eyes were burning with anger and their faces livid with rage. Young master, do we have to let that woman act so wantonly in the Mu family? She has acted recklessly in the Mu family and now she has also abducted the Qin family's young master. She is young master Nan Xian's woman anyway. What would Nan Xian say about it? Young master, we need to deal with this matter. Otherwise, this Mu family is not the Mu family anymore. Mu Ling kept his face straight. He looked unhappy. Even before being demoted, I couldn't do anything about it. Now that I have been demoted, what do you want me to do? Nan Xian never listens to me and he fights with me. There was no father who was more miserable than him. He could not even stand up to his own son. And these people were still forcing him to the corner like this. What could he do? He wanted the Mu family to be as it was before too. But asking him to find Nan Xian, was it not sending him off to be beaten? Where's the old master? Did he just let them fool around like this? Mu Yang was annoyed. If this situation continues, the Mu family's reputation will be sullied by these people. Young master, I have told you before, do not let young lady return. Having Lady Qing Yang here is already enough for the Mu family, there is no need to, enough. Bang! Mu Ling suddenly slammed his fist, causing one of the walls next to him to collapse. This made everyone stop talking at once. His face was livid and his voice sounded fierce. This matter has nothing to do with Su Yi. You don't have to drag her. After all, I owe her a favor. The people in the clan hall were all surprised. They had mentioned these things before, but they had never seen the young master get so angry. Today, to defend Su Yi, the young master had gotten so furious. Mu Ying's eyes sank. Had the young master ever thought about it? He protected the young lady like this, then where in his life did he place Lady Qingyang? The young lady had only encroached the position. All these years, it was Lady Qingyang who had worked for the Mu family. If it was not because of the spirit herbs given by Lady Qingyang, his grandson would not have been able to break through this realm. As for Chen Qingyang, Mu Ling's heart was full of gratitude. Young master, fine. Mu Ling's frown gradually faded. His hands were tightly crossed. Say no more. If Feng Ruqing and Nanxian continue making trouble in the Mu family, just let them go first. Be sure not to raise any conflict. Me for extra chapters. Because, the corners of his lips lifted into a bitter smile. They came here for revenge. The more you raise a conflict with them, the more intense they will get. I can't beat Nanxian and there is no other way we can do it. This was Mu Ling's first admission that he was not Nanxian's rival. He had always thought that Nanxian's skill was much higher than ordinary people's, but it had never occurred to him that Nanxian would be so keen to that extent. Nanxian had unexpectedly exceeded his power. With Nanxian in this Mu family, what else could he do? Even when Qingyang was wronged, he was not capable of avenging her. Furthermore, the old master is recovering. It's a good thing for the Mu family. It looks as if it will not take a long time for him to recover. The old master recovering is an excellent thing for the Mu family. But it'll make Qingyang suffer. Mu Ling's eyes were suddenly filled with determination like a boundless night sky. As for Qingyang, I won't give up on her. It doesn't matter if my father agrees or not. Qingyang must stay in the Mu family. I won't let her go just because of this. I know you all love Qingyang. So do I. Chapter 997. The old master has recovered. Mu Ling glanced at everyone who was present. He turned and walked away. His steps did not falter. The Southern Ocean. A youth dressed in black stood in the enormous waves. His face was handsome and seemed young. But in these monstrous waves, he looked like a king who aggressively looked down to the spirit beasts in the waves. I have asked you to look for an island, why haven't you found it yet? If he kept waiting, his little Nine would run away with a wild man. He had missed her once. He did not want to miss her again. The many fish beasts did not even dare to lift their heads. They waited timidly for the reprimand from the youth in black. I'll give you 3 more days, and if you can't find a way, I will stew all of you and give to Nine. The fish beasts panicked. They broke up in a din and hurriedly swam away in all directions. The youth dressed in a full black robe stood in the waves. His whole being gave off a mysterious aura. The white phoenix, with an unknown stole roast chicken, was sitting nearby. His whole mouth was covered in oil. He wiped his mouth with his wings and looked at the youth in black disdainfully. Are these spirit beasts reliable? It's been so long, why haven't you found it yet? The youth in black snorted softly. You only know how to eat. You don't even recognize the road. What rights do you have to teach me? I have advised you not to be too worried about it. Come, let's eat the chicken first. The white phoenix said with a smile. He did not feel angry at all. The youth in black glanced scornfully at the roasted chicken in the white phoenix's hand. I'm not a spirit beast. I am a confluence of heaven and earth. Unlike you, I don't need to eat. The white phoenix seemed to be not listening to the youth in black. He picked up another roast chicken and threw it to him. An hour later, under the enormous sky, the waves were raging. There was a white phoenix with a youth. Both of them grabbed a savory roasted chicken in their hands. Disregarding the circumstances they were in now, their eyes were only fixed on the delicious food in front of them. Time flowed like a stream. Since Feng Ruqing had appeared in the Mu family was never calm again. Me for extra chapters. Other than Chen Qingyan's injury, soon after, Mu Ling started to get poisonous sores on his mouth too. He had used many spirit herbs to cure the sores, but only with a few moments of calm before he made the breakthrough. Arguably, a breakthrough was a good thing. Although he failed to regain his previous strength, the prior training experience was still there. It would not take a long time to reach the bottleneck. However, just as Mu Ling was making a breakthrough, A sudden flash of lightning fell from the sky, struck him, interrupting his breakthrough. The lightning was very ferocious. After being hit, he was very shocked and immediately lost consciousness. Fortunately, the Mu family members rushed over and assisted him into the room. After over half a month of self-cultivation, he was able to survive. It was said that the latrine was blown up by Feng Ruqing and Nanxian, but as for the lightning, it was impossible for them to do it. After all, no one in this world had such strength. Even if he wanted to shift the blame onto these two people, the ordinary people were not a fool. It was impossible to believe him. So, the gossip was not only going around in the Mu family but the entire Tianshan manor that Mu Ling was struck by lightning, certainly because heaven was punishing him. Otherwise, why did the lightning not strike someone else but him? During the chaos in the Mu family, a sudden roar was heard in the old master's courtyard. Chapter 998. The old master has recovered. 3. It seemed like there was a white light extending toward the sky. It rushed into the clouds up till it faded away. Mu Ling was still lying on the bed, cultivating. After seeing the light, he quickly got up from the bed. His face filled with excitement. Holy warrior, has my father's strength been recovered? The number of holy warriors in this temple was not significant. There were only Jiyusha and Hai Rong. Therefore, when the old master Mu had recovered, he became the third holy warrior. In the future, no one will look down upon the Mu family again. Hurry up, inform others. Everyone, go to the clan's hall. Mu Ling was surging. Even though Nanxian's strength was great, Mu Ling understood that Nanxian was not attached to the Mu family. He could no longer count on Nanxian to work for the Mu family. Father was also a holy warrior before, but his mind was fuddled and his strength was getting nowhere. The Mu family was placed in a difficult predicament after he was demoted. Fortunately, my father has recovered. The Mu family's situation will gradually improve. Oh, by the way, let Xie and Huana come here too. When they were born, father was in his declining years, he hadn't seen them well. Now, father is awake. For the sake of these two children, he will not embarrass Qingyang anymore. At that time, father's mind was always in a mess. He was stuck in old memories, so he was so cruel to Qingyang. Now that he has recovered, perhaps he would accept Qingyang again for the sake of the children. Next to the manure pit, Chen Qingyang pinched her nose and gently took out the disgusting feces. Suddenly, the white light from nearby changed her expression. She looked pale and her breathing grew shallow. The old master has recovered. How did he recover so fast? If the old master had recovered, how should she handle this situation? Chen Qingyang clenched her fists hard. Her eyes were filled with coldness. That damn old master, why aren't you dead? It seemed that she was too slow to take action before. If the spectral flowers had bloomed earlier, maybe the old master would have been already dead. Lady Chen. A maid hurriedly came up to her. After hearing this, Chen Qingyan's expression grew even more unpleasant. But she did not dare to say anything. She could only stare at the maid in front of her with her cold eyes. Me for extra chapters. What's the matter? Young master said that you need to go to the clan's hall too. The maid's words made Chen Qingyang look even more unpleasant. She dropped the night soil tools in her hand. Okay, I'll change my clothes, wash, get dressed, then I'll go. In every step that Chen Qingyang took, the pain would come through the wound on her back. She did not know why Feng Ruqing had not come to abuse her these days, but her wound still could not heal. And she needed to remove the night soil with this injury. In these years, she had never suffered from such grievances. She had followed her mother to the Mu family back then and had received favored treatment. The old master had taken good care of them. Later, her mother had made a mistake and was killed by the old master. She was kicked out of the Mu family. Mu Ling would visit her every few days and he had even sent a maid to take care of her. She once was always respected and led a pampered life. When had she ever suffered like this? Chen Qingyan's heart hurt, and what made it even more awful was Mu Ling's attitude. The clan hall. Everybody whispered and gazed at each other helplessly. The old master had recovered, it was naturally rejoicing to them. But once the old master regained his authority in the Mu family, they would no longer have a right to speak anymore. Chapter 999. The old master has recovered. Everyone was a little anxious and uneasy. The old master, with his decent pace, walked in from the door. He looked severe with his cold eyes. His dignity shall be inviolable. Although Chen Qingyang went to wash up, she came to the clan's hall earlier than the old master. Now, after seeing the old master with a stern face, her heart suddenly trembled. She lightly pursed up her lips and looked on with pity in her eyes. Mu Ling felt sorry for her. He embraced Chen Qingyang in his arms as if telling her that no matter what happened, he would not abandon her. "Father, you have just recovered, walk slowly." A gentle and soft voice came from behind the old master. Chen Qingyang's heart was firmly pinched by a hand. She raised her eyes and looked at that person, and saw that Su Yi was following behind the old master. That should have been her place. Su Yi and Mu Qingyang slowly walked side by side into the clan hall. Nan Xian held Feng Ruking's waist and walked along with them. This scene stabbed Chen Qingyang's heart deeply. She clenched her fists firmly and her face was twisted in anger. Su Yi had snatched her place, while Feng Ruqing and Nan Xian had taken Xie and Huana's position. They should be the real family. Is everyone here? The old master's eyes seemed cold. He glanced at all the people present and with a sharp tone he said, "Since everyone is here, I will say something frank right now. I have been sick for a few years and my brain was muddled. But it does not mean that I am a fool. I know everything." "Master," an uncle from the Mu family said weakly, "are you misunderstanding something? We didn't do anything." The old master Mu sneered. "Mu Fan, you look at what Chen Qingyang has done, is that still insufficient? I don't know much about the Mu family's affairs, but in managing and taking care of the Mu family, he is synonymous in my eyes. What makes you think you can deceive me?" The crowd was silent. Everyone knew that after the old master recovered, he would pick up his power and the first target would be them. "Father, me for extra chapters." Mu Ling wanted to stand for Chen Qingyang and explain a few words, but when he had hardly started talking, the old master Mu glanced at him coldly. "Shut up. Who is your father? You didn't appreciate a good woman like Su Yi and you want a woman like Chen Qingyang badly. How dare you call me father? I don't have a son like you." The old master Mu was roaring with anger and his eyes looked so furious. Chen Qingyang was silent. She bit her lower lip hard as tears swirled in her eyes and she stubbornly did not let the tears drop. "Grandfather." Mu Huan could not bear seeing his mother with a heartbroken look. He stood up and defended her. "You are too unfair to my mother. You can ask these people here. My mother has worked hard for the Mu family in these past few years. She has suffered and sweated for you. But in the end, you only give all the credits to Su Yi. Both of them are your daughters-in-law, how can you be so biased to this extent?" Old Master Mu looked at Mu Huan coldly. "It seems that the people of the Mu family have always addressed Chen Qingyang as Lady Qingyang and treated you like a legitimate son and daughter so much so that you have forgotten your own identities. She is just a concubine, her rank only a little higher than the servants. Since when has a concubine become my daughter-in-law? Since when have the son and the daughter of a concubine been placed in the limelight?" Initially, Mu Ling had thought that when his father recovered, he would be gentle with Mu Huan and Mu Shi, but he did not expect him to still be the same as before. Chapter 1000. The old master has recovered. Chen Qingyang had always been a vicious lady in the old master's heart. Was it all because Chen Qingyang had a vicious mother? Her mother did make a mistake, but her daughter, Chen Qingyang, was innocent. She had gone through so many struggles. Why did the old master still not forgive her? "Old master, young lady Mu Huan is right. When Manor Lady Su Yi was still in the Mu family, the people of the Mu family were full of grievances. However, things have changed when Lady Qingyang is here. Old master, you can't strip Lady Qingyang of all the credits just because of the mistake that her mother made," Mu Ying said after remaining silent for a while. "Old master, we know that you like Manor Lady Su Yi, But Lady Qingyang is so kind and generous. She has sacrificed a lot for the Mu family. We must not be ungrateful. That's right. Old Master, no matter what Lady Qingyang's mother did, it has nothing to do with Lady Qingyang. She is a great lady. She is innocent. Seeing many people standing up for Chen Qingyang, Mu Huan stood straighter as she stared disdainfully at Suyi's face. How could a lady stay in the Mu family when she can't even win the hearts of the people in the Mu family? Don't you know why Suyi does not grow the people within the Mu family? Are you not aware of the talent of your own descendants? Suyi did tell me before that she wanted to get some disciples from the other clans out there, and I have agreed to it. I did not manage to do this previously, but Suyi has made it. The old master sneered. In the reclusive world, it was truly rare for a clan to accept disciples from other clans. As all the clans had their own secrets, they would only grow the talents within the clan. However, the spirit herbs would completely run out one day. Without spirit herbs and talent, a clan would surely collapse. The old master knew this very well. Hence, he did not stop Suyi from taking disciples from outside. All the disciples that Suyi brought back to the Mu family were profoundly gifted. Although they did not carry the Mu family's bloodline, as they were highly talented. That was enough. People of the same family bloodline might not necessarily be loyal. At the same time, people of different family bloodlines might not necessarily be treacherous. When Suyi left the Mu family back then, all of you didn't even care about Suyi's painstaking effort and had banished all the disciples that Suyi had taken from all over the world just because they do not carry the Mu family's bloodline. The old butler had always been by my side. He knew how important those disciples were to the Mu family. Hence, he has adopted these disciples. It is a pity that Chen Qingyang was taking full control of the spirit herb chamber. Hence, the old butler did not manage to get any spirit herb to enhance these disciples' strength. The youngest among them was only 20 years old. Even so, he has attained Dark Warrior tier not long ago. The old master only found out about all these after he had regained his senses. In the entire Mu family, Mu Qingyan and the old butler were the only two people who knew everything in the Mu family well. The old butler had been working with the old master for years. Naturally, he knew the old master very well. Hence, he had found a place and adopted those banished disciples. Me for extra chapters. When Suyi brought these disciples back to the Mu family, they were still kids. Hence, all of them were still very young now. Although they did not have spirit herbs to enhance their strength, some of them had actually surpassed the descendants of the Mu family who took spirit herbs to boost their strength. Those kids are not Mu family's descendants. What if they sell the Mu family out? Mu Ying's face stiffened. A few years ago, Ji Yusha found out that we were adopting these disciples. He wanted to poach them. However, he did not make it because these kids felt extremely grateful towards Suyi and did not want to leave. The old master sneered. All the kids that Suyi had brought back to the Mu family were of poor origins. It was Suyi who had given them a new life. Hence, they would never leave and betray her. Betrayal would always be treacherous regardless of bloodline. Those who were loyal would never betray. Chapter 1001. The old master has recovered. Suyi's eyes moved slightly as she heaved a sigh of relief. It turned out that the kids were still safe and sound. Back then, Suyi left the Mu family without the slightest hesitation. Her strength was not as strong as it was now. It was extremely hard for her to raise Nanxian. Hence, she was not capable of raising all the kids that she had brought back to the Mu family. Moreover, she did not want the kids to suffer hardship together with her. As her strength had not been recovering all these years, she could not come back to the Mu family to take the kids away with her. Hence, she had not met the kids for years. Old master, no matter what, these kids are not part of the Mu family. They should not use the Mu family's resources. We should keep the goodies within the family. If these kids were still in the Mu family, they would use up all the spirit herbs. We would run out of spirit herbs. What about the Mu family's future? Mu Ying hesitated for a moment before he continued talking. Old butler. The old master sneered. As soon as the old master finished talking, the old butler walked into the clan's hall with an elder behind him. Everyone could recognize the elder at a glance. It was Zhong Laro who guarded the spirit herb chamber. Simply no one knew why the old master had summoned Zhong Laro here. Seeing Zhong Laro, Chen Qingyin's face turned pale. A resurgence of panic crept into her eyes. Zhong Lao, besides my birthday gift, how many spirit herbs do we have left in the Mu family? There are 10 pieces of grade 6 spirit herbs, 50 pieces of grade 5 spirit herbs, 110 pieces of grade 4 spirit herbs, 180 pieces of grade 3 spirit herbs, 250 pieces of grade 2 spirit herbs, and lastly, 500 pieces of grade 1 spirit herbs. Zhong Laro cupped his fists respectfully. Currently, the amount of spirit herbs that the Mu family possessed was considered high in the secular world, where spirit herbs were extremely rare as spirit herb mountains were dominated by the reclusive world. Even a piece of grade 3 spirit herb was priceless. However, the Mu family was part of the reclusive world. Besides grade 6 spirit herbs, the amount of the rest of the spirit herbs was even smaller than those that the Tang family owned back then. Moreover, the Mu family was the leading clan out of the 4 main forces in Tianshan Manor. Hearing Zhong Laro, the entire clan's hall fell into a dead silence. Everyone present held their breath and did not say a single word. Mu Ling's face took on a ghastly expression. He did go to the spirit herb chamber some time ago to get Zhong Laro to take some spirit herbs for him. However, Mu Ling did not ask Zhong Laro anything about the spirit herb chamber. Me for extra chapters. It was only dozens of years, but the number of spirit herbs had greatly dropped. With the amount of spirit herb that the Mu family owned now, it was no match for a small prestigious family in Tianshan Manor. Zhong Laro, tell us the spirit herb we have when Su Yi was still in the Mu family. The old master smirked. All right. Before the manor lady left the Mu family, we had 10 pieces of grade 7 spirit herbs, 50 pieces of grade 6 spirit herbs, 500 pieces of grade 5 spirit herbs, 1,030 pieces of grade 4 spirit herbs, 3,000 pieces of grade 3 spirit herbs, 5,000 pieces of grade 2 spirit herbs, and 8,000 pieces of grade 1 spirit herbs. Each year, the spirit herb mountains contribute 2,000 pieces of spirit herbs. After deducting the spirit herb being consumed daily, there would still be 200 pieces of spirit herbs left. Moreover, whenever the manor lady went out to temper herself, she would collect some spirit herbs and put them into the spirit herb chamber, Zhong Laro replied. Hence, when the manor lady was still in the Mu family, the number of spirit herbs in the spirit herb chamber would increase every year, Zhong Laro said resolutely. His face was indifferent. Spirit herbs had always been a clan's last resort. People of the clan would only consume them during critical times. Back then, Chen Qingyang had always been taking out the spirit herbs as she wished. Zhong Laro told Mu Ling before that if Chen Qingyang continued doing this, the Mu family would run out of spirit herbs. However, not only did Mu Ling pay no heed to Zhong Lao's words, he had allowed Chen Qingyang to take charge of the spirit herb chamber. It is true that the old master receives a lot of spirit herbs on his birthday every year, but Aunt Qingyang has taken them away. Chapter 1002. The old master has recovered 7. Zhong Laro continued after keeping silent for a while. No way. That's impossible. These are the only spirit herbs left in the Mu family. Aren't the spirit herb mountains providing spirit herbs to the Mu family every year? Where are those spirit herbs now? Mu Ying's body was trembling, his eyes were filled with panic. Aunt Qingyang has taken them away. Ever since she has stepped into the Mu family, she has always been fawning over everyone in the Mu family by giving them spirit herbs. She has even given spirit herbs to the humble servants. It was only natural that everyone in the Mu family likes her. If she was using her own spirit herbs, I would agree that she is a great person. However, she was using the Mu family's spirit herbs to do this. Zhong Laro straightened up. Zhong Lao's words had hit the nail on the head. Chen Qingyang was merely a concubine in the Mu family. If she had given away her own spirit herbs to the people in the Mu family to keep in with them, there was no doubt that everyone would think that Chen Qingyang was kind. However, she was actually using the Mu family's spirit herbs instead. Everyone present fell silent and stopped talking. Their faces darkened. Mana Lady did give some spirit herbs to the disciples that she had brought back to the Mu family. However, all the spirit herbs that she had taken were those that she had brought back to the Mu family herself, and I have jotted all of them down. Mana Lady had never touched anything that belonged to the Mu family. Zhong Laro had always been taking care of the spirit herb chamber. He had even treated the spirit herbs like his own children. Seeing the amount of the spirit herbs dropping day by day, his heart was broken, but he had nowhere to vent his grievance. Now was such a great chance to pour it all out. Hence, he must tell everyone the things that Chen Qingyang had done and how she had put the Mu family into trouble. By the way, what about the grade 7 spirit herbs? Zhong Laro, where are the grade 7 spirit herbs? Has the Mu family run out of grade 7 spirit herbs? Suddenly, Mu Ying shouted. He had finally come back to his senses. You may want to ask Aunt Qingyang. She has taken them away. Zhong Laro snorted. Zhong Lao's remark sounded like thunder in a clear sky, hitting everyone present like a ton of bricks. Zhong Lao, don't you know how important the grade 7 spirit herbs to the Mu family? How could you simply let someone take it away without informing any one of us, me for extra chapters? I did inform Mana Master about this. Mana Master said that he has left all these matters to Aunt Qingyang. I am nobody but an old coot who looks after the spirit herb chamber. I couldn't do anything to her. Naturally, I wanted to stop people from taking the spirit herbs away, but who am I to do that? Zhong Lao's face was nonchalant. Hearing this, Mu Ling had a dazed look on his face. Zhong Lao was right. He had looked for Mu Ling back then and he did mention something about some grade 7 spirit herbs. However, Mu Ling did not show much concern as a piece of grade 7 spirit herb was not a big deal and he could afford to give it to Chen Qingyang. Hence, he had rebuked Zhong Lao. He told Zhong Lao to stop disturbing him and let Chen Qingyang handle all these things on her own. Little did Mu Ling know, Chen Qingyang had actually taken all grade 7 spirit herbs, the most precious things in the Mu family. Qingyang, where are the spirit herbs? Mu Ling turned to look at Chen Qingyang as his face darkened. Although Mu Ling loved and trusted Chen Qingyang, the Mu family was still the most important thing to him. Mu Ling had only managed to attain Immortal Warrior tier after consuming the grade 7 spirit herb back then. Originally, he had planned to consume the grade 7 spirit herb once he had attained Intermediate Immortal Warrior tier so he could restore the strength he once had. Now that all the grade 7 spirit herbs were gone with not even one piece left, he could not help feeling upset. This time, Chen Qingyang really panicked. Her face was drained out of color, her eyes were flooded with tears. I have exchanged the grade 7 spirit herbs with the Thousand Vines orchid. Brotherling, I didn't mean to do this. I was deceived into doing this as someone has told me that the Thousand Vines orchid could improve the old master's health. I did this for the old master. Chapter 1003, The Old Master Has Recovered. 8 No way. Chen Qingyang would never let Mu Ling know where the grade 7 spirit herbs were. Mu Ling closed his eyes in grievous pain. His hands were quivering with rage. No. Father, Mother said that she has done this for grandfather. Mu Huan could no longer hold back. So, she stood up for Chen Qingyang. Mu Huan, you shut up. Hearing this, Mu Ling opened his eyes and snarled. Mu Huan held her breath. This was not the first time Mu Ling had exploded with anger. They are just a few pieces of spirit herbs, why is he so mad? Qingyang, do you know how important the grade 7 spirit herbs are to the Mu family? 10 pieces of grade 7 spirit herbs means there will be 10 holy warriors in 10 generations of the Mu family. One can start consuming grade 7 spirit herb once he has attained Intermediate Immortal Warrior tier. After eating the grade 7 spirit herb, he could make a breakthrough to advance Immortal Warrior tier and the chances of attaining Holy Warrior tier increase. Do you get me? After attaining Holy Warrior tier, one could live up to 200 to 300 years. What happened next? Only a rare talent like Nan Xian could continue making a breakthrough. Even a highly talented cultivator could hardly make it. In other words, after 200 to 300 years, the fall of the holy warrior in this generation, the chances of having another holy warrior were truly scarce. As time went by, the Mu family would go downhill. Qingyang. Chen Qingyang did not utter a word. Her face was ghastly pale. Seeing this, a furious rage swept over Mu Ling. Ever since Chen Qingyang had stepped into the Mu family, Mu Ling had always been defending and taking care of her. He had never been so indignant toward her like now. The grade 7 spirit herbs were so important to the Mu family after all. They were so precious that even Mu Ling's heart was quivering now. The people of the Mu family were no longer defending Chen Qingyang like they were doing before. On the contrary, all of them were glaring at Chen Qingyang. Regardless of her intention, Chen Qingyang had exhausted all the grade 7 spirit herbs in a mere 10 years. She was such an unforgivable sinner to the Mu family. Father, me for extra chapters. Didn't you hear what I said? Shut up. You have no idea of what is going on, you know nothing about this. You have been cultivating with Grandmaster Hai Rong for years, but you are still a good for nothing. Mu Ling's bloodshot eyes glared at Mu Huan. My father calls me a good for nothing? Stunned, a look of disbelief and shock crept into Mu Huan's eyes. Her body was icy cold. She could feel the blood in her entire body flowing backward. Mu Huan closed her eyes and opened them after a while. Her cold gaze locked upon Feng Ruqing and Nanxian. Her eyes were filled with resentment. It is all because of these people. Ever since their return, the Mu family has sunken into a mess. They have even made my parents quarrel. It's all their fault. Chen Qingyang. Mu Ling clenched his fists tightly, his eyes filled with agony. I trusted you and have entrusted the spirit herb chamber to you. I thought you would only take one piece of grade 7 spirit herb that I could afford to give it to you. However, you have actually taken all of them. Did you hear me? All the grade 7 spirit herbs are gone. At this time, panic started to engulf Chen Qingyang. Mu Ling was the one she could count on more than anyone else. She was nothing without Mu Ling. Brother Ling. Chen Qingyang held on to Mu Ling's shaking fists as she said in a choking voice. Tears broke free from her eyes. I did this with good intention. I have never thought that it would turn out like this. Can you forgive me? I will do anything you want me to. I don't want to lose you. I can't live without you. Chen Qingyan's voice was cracking, tears of anguish sprang from her eyes. Mu Ling closed his eyes gently. He had once said that he would forgive Chen Qingyang no matter what she did or said. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.